For centuries, surviving the punishing heat of the Indian subcontinent required a very specific kind of human ingenuity. You had to find a way to manually move the air. That necessity birthed the traditional hand fan, known as the pankha. Its name comes from pankh, the Hindi word for a bird's feather. We can trace the use of these fans back nearly 2,000 years, at least to the 2nd century CE. Physical proof remains in the Buddhist wall paintings of the Ajanta caves, where the pankha is clearly visible. In this context, the fans served specific ceremonial roles, deployed in royal courts for kings and in temples for deities. Some were massive. The physical arm strength required by a servant to swing one back and forth acted as a visible indicator of social hierarchy and power. Modernity introduced a different kind of relief, the motorized rotation of electric ceiling fans and the arrival of air conditioning. As these systems became standard in urban centers, the hand-powered pankha began to lose its status as the essential, everyday survival tool. With manual fans no longer the primary defense against the heat for many, the intricate craft behind them was suddenly at risk of fading into obscurity. What happens to a fundamental tool when its primary function is no longer a necessity for the majority? The hand fan didn't disappear. Instead, it transitioned from a personal utility item to a coveted cultural commodity. Look at this map. As these fans began to be viewed as stylish, exotic goods, they were distributed heavily across India's vast network of trade routes. This wider distribution created competition. Different villages and towns were incentivized to develop their own distinct designs to stand out in the marketplace. The materials used in a fan directly reflect the geography and culture of its region. Rajasthan, for instance, focuses on opulence. Artisans there use applique fabric and encrust their work with gold Zardozi thread. They even forge heavy, long-handled brass fans specifically for temple rituals. In neighboring Gujarat, the style changes. These artisans have worked with pure cotton bases, embellished with the region's famous mirror work and colorful beads. Further west, the Kutch district is recognized for hand-stitched leather fans, where the seams are decorated with thread and wool, a process that requires intense manual labor. In these western states, the fans transformed into canvases, showcasing a region's mastery over textiles, metals, and needlework. In eastern India, the focus shifts to natural, delicate materials. Artisans in Bengal leave the heavy metals behind. They extract the milky white, spongy center of the sola, a type of watergrass, to craft incredibly light, fragile fans. But the most common material is the palm leaf. These tall patar pankha are easy to carry and remain a constant presence in Bengali households. Many tribes in India have also adopted this handicraft, utilizing bamboo, cane, and geometric patterns to create their own distinct variations. Whether it's made of heavy brass or lightweight grass, every region successfully localized the pankha to represent its own resources. This incredible variety is now fueled by commercial demand. Many home-based women workers and tribal artisans have worked tirelessly to turn this craft into a viable livelihood. They are no longer making these fans to cool themselves, but to sustain their families. The tradition is surviving today because it successfully monetized its own aesthetic and cultural value. The pankha has officially completed the leap from a piece of survival hardware to a piece of fine art. In modern India, their use is now restricted almost exclusively to decorative purposes. New initiatives like Pankha making workshops and cultural exhibitions provide the commercial platforms that allow artisans to keep this craft alive. Celebrating the Pankha today is about more than relief from the heat. It is about ensuring the specific patterns, materials, and stories of these artisans remain part of the living record as the country continues to modernize.